Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Jody and today we are going to tackle a page from Johanna Basford's World of Wonders. It's the month of January 2023 and all month long we are spending time in a variety of Johanna Basford books, showing them some love and getting some pages done. So this was one of my favorite pages from 2022 and I loved this page. I had done the whole page in watercolors, so obviously there was quite a bit of wet medium going on, so much so that it actually went onto the edges on this page behind. So this is what we're going to tackle today. We are going to save this page, cover up the dark purple blue watercolor with something else, and get this page finished. So if you're interested in how to save a page, then stick around and we'll get started. I'm going to show you a variety of tools that I selected for today. So I have picked up a small sea sponge that I had, a flat paintbrush, some water, and I've also got two kinds of acrylic paint. I've got Folk Art Treasure Gold and I have Folk Art Black Flash. So it's a color shift paint, so it's a black paint that has a gold undertone. So between the two of these I plan on making a background, but I don't want like just a solid black background. I will need some solid obviously along the edges, so that's where we're going to start, and we're going to start with the Black Flash. So I'm just going to shake it up. I'm working on my Tim Holtz Media Mat. It's the smaller mat, and I'm just going to pour this right onto my palette here. And it looks a little thick, so I'm going to water it down just a little bit by just having water on my actual paintbrush. And I'm using a large paintbrush because I want as few strokes as possible. So I'm just going to take and mix this up a little bit. And I'm going to, and I have disc bound this book, so running a paintbrush up and down this way is not going to be very good. So I also don't want things to seep onto the other side. So I'm going to put an absorbent piece down and I'm going to brush this way. So I'm going to go this way so that I'm going to press my paper down because I don't want what happened to here, which is product seeping up from the other side. So I'm just going to zoom you in a bit and you can follow along. I hope everybody's having a good January. I'm only going in one direction. Okay, now I'm going to lift it off of the absorbent mat, and I'm just going to let that dry. Now after I'm done this side, because I had picked up the absorbent piece of paper, I'm actually going to clean off my mat because I don't want to put so just with a bit of water. Okay, here's how it's looking, and I am liking how the Black Flash paint is looking, so I'm going to actually finish coloring this whole area, skipping obviously the bed. So I'm going to switch to a much smaller paintbrush so I can get into the other sides, and then once this is dry, I'm going to come back with the gold and sponge on the gold, and I'm actually going to put the stars back on. So that's the plan. I just thought I'd give you a brief update. And now that I have finished all the edges, I don't need to keep moving my paper around and cleaning my surface. So I'm going to be able to basically hold it down a lot easier. Okay, I'm back and I have completed covering the entire page. There's a few areas that need cleanup, but I will use a black fine liner to do that after we're done all the painting steps. So this currently is covered in the Folk Art Color Shift Black Flash. It is a black acrylic paint with a gold undertone, and it's quite gold, you'll see, but it's also black. I am now going to take my sea sponge, which I have wet so it's pliable, and then wrung it out. I am going to be using Treasure Gold Folk Art metallic acrylic paint. I'm going to also grab some stencils. I'm going to put a moon and some stars on the page, and because there's a bunch of other items on this stencil, I'm going to take some post-it notes and cover up areas that I don't want any paint to go through. I don't mind if there's some stars, but I don't want all of these clouds and other things. So I've masked off the stencil like that. Going to place the stencil here in the corner. I'm going to take my sponge and lightly dip it in the paint, dabbing some of it off. So I just have a bit on there. And then I'm going to sponge directly onto the paper, holding the stencil down, and up and down motions. And just until I have enough coverage. And since I've got some small stars here, I'll do those stars as well. And then I'm going to lift the stencil straight up. And now I've got some gold on top of the other gold. So I'm now going to go and wipe off the stencil, the excess paint, back onto my sponge so it's not wasted. I have a selection of star stencils, so I have a larger one and then I have a single one. So I'm just going to select a variety of stars. Done enough, and as you see, this area here got a little bit of paint, so I'm just going to actually go down the whole side of this with a little bit of paint. Just very lightly. And what that will do is kind of hide any marks, paintbrush marks. Cleaning off the stencil. And also beware of marks all over my media mat here. Keeping things clean because I don't want things on the opposite side of the page. So that's kind of the trick when you're fixing a page that is already been colored on the other side. You just need to make sure that you're not doing more damage than you're correcting. So I'll continue doing a few more stars on this side, and then I'll come back when it's all finished and dry. And here we are for a final look at how I finished off the page. So the last time you saw the page, it was drying after I had applied the Black Flash Gold Shift paint. I then stenciled with the Treasure Gold Folk Art paint. I then finished off the page with Silver Sparkle Pop for the star and a green jelly roll for the bed string. And then I decided to use the green colors for the bed linen. For the comforter, I actually pulled out a pencil that I don't use very often, which is a Derwent Metallic in green, and then some polychromos for the rest. I used, for the bed frame, I used the Jelly Roll Bronze and the Prismacolor Bronze pencil. And there's a little bit of stickles on the bedside lamp there. So I'm very happy. I'll shut the light off, out the light, and so yeah, happy with the page. I started this page as a way to correct the bleed watercolor paint that had seeped from the other side onto this side. So let's just flip it over and see how this side is looking. I'll turn the light back on. So this side I did really well. A couple of little spots here, but nothing like it was before. One little spot here from paint I picked up off of the mat, but otherwise still really happy with this page, and there was no seeping through for anywhere. And now I'm actually happy with this side too, and there's no sign of purple on this page. Overall, it was a great success. Happy it's done, and I'm happy that you were able to see the process how I completed it. I hope you find a way to save a page that you may have damaged in some way with similar acrylic paint or another medium. And until the next time, have a wonderful creative week, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.